Hey everyone, welcome back to my workbench. I'm doing something a little different tonight. I'm taking a break from the CDX and am even taking a break from the Tiger Learning Computer. I went out today for a couple hours and I am beat, and I don't think I can cut anything tonight because I need to use a hacksaw to cut some fiberglass. So I'll take a break on that one. So I'm working on tonight this is a Dana wireless. It's kind of a neat device. It was originally intended for schools. Let's see if you can see the screen. Yeah, it's a monochrome screen. This is actually a palm-based version of it, but it's nice because you can do a. Let me see. Let's see if there's anything private here. Okay. So when I type up articles for my blog, I have a lot of stuff on here. So what I do is, this is actually an old article here. Let's take a look. Okay. Alright, so it actually has a really nice keyboard on it, very responsive. Which is nice is it does have two SD slots on it, and it connects to USB. So when you plug it into a PC, it can either act like a palm device or it can act like just a keyboard, which is cool because you just plug it in and you hit the send key and it just sends the text to the PC. Anyway, the problem I run into is it runs off of three NiCad batteries. I actually modded this. There was original nickel metal hydrides. Now, there used to be a NiCad pack that would go in here, and I hacked it so you can charge it in the system using regular AA's. But even then, the problem I run into is I kind of run out of juice sometimes on the road, and I would like to be able to charge it. So that's why we're here. So it'll charge off of 7.5 volts DC here. It'll charge off of either USB or 7.5. It takes a while to charge off of USB. And it only charges off of USB if it's an actual USB device. You can't just put 5 volts on there. It won't accept it. It has to be talking back and forth. So what I'm going to make today is a 7.5 volt charger, because over the years I've accumulated all sorts of extra doodads. I already have a plug for it I'm going to reuse, and then I have this little enclosure here. It's just a little plastic enclosure. I can't remember what this was for originally, but it's mine now. And then I have some spare lithium ion rechargeable batteries. I'll show you those in a second. So this is a little enclosure. What we'll do is, there's two things I'm going to do. Two lengths of screws. That's interesting. All right, so this is actually pretty similar to the Nomad battery pack I actually do. That's what inspired me to make this. Is what I do a very similar thing as a Nomad pack, but you're very restricted size-wise. So I got out of I had this 12-volt battery pack that the charging circuit died on, but these are just standard 3.6 volt lithium cells. So we got positive and negative, and I'm just going to parallel. I think one of these cells is bad. I'm going to go through and test all of them as I build it up, but I should be able to stack up. I mean, each of these cells is rated what? It's 2300 amp hours. That's a bit. So what I'll do is I'll basically stack up as many of these suckers as I can, then parallel them off, make sure they're Positive, positive. I don't want to short them. Here we go. Positive, the positive. As long as you have the positives and the positives. Let's see how many I could stack in here. Maybe I can put the whole stack in here. That'd be cool. Let's see. If I can, I'll have a nice... Okay, so that's all of them there. That might be a little tall. Let's see. Yeah. Unless I move it up here. Turn this around like so. Let's see if this is tall enough. A little bit of a squeeze. Let's take one out of the stack. There's a nice stack of them here. It closes up nice. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those suckers. That's a lot of juice. So should be able to recharge that thing several times over. So one thing I do use in the Nomad packs, to use this, there's a smaller version too. This guy here is pretty cool because you have just a micro USB micro A connection there. So you just plug it into a regular old USB to charge her up, and it has an adjustable output here, and you just put the battery positive and negative on here, and it's designed to work with these 3.6 volt cells. So I'm just going to test these first, and then I'll re-parallel them. Where's a meter? Oh, this is my trustiest and oldest of meters. Bought that at Sears years ago. It's a Craftsman, but it has actually served me really well. Of all the meters I've owned, and that cord is not, that plug is not going to fit in there. Well, darn it! I should have been meaning to go through all my test cords anyway. Oh, where the heck is it? That's clip leads. I don't want clip leads. Well, in that case, I'll have to use my hand tech. That's fine. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Well, sorry, Craftsman. This is a 2-channel oscilloscope, but it's also a digital multimeter. Let's see what we got here. Make sure these are all good. 3.6. This meter shows up really well in the video, which I like. The thing I do like about it. 3.6, 3.6, 3.7, and 3.7. Oh, wiki. Oops. Okay, so they're all still pretty close to the same charge level. So what I want to do is re-parallel these with each other. I mean, this is how it came from the factory with all this tape and crap. It's just, when you open up like some of these packs and you see what they did inside, it's like you're amazed it doesn't catch on fire when you're just looking at it funny. Alright, thicker wire. Oh, I did not prepare well for this video. I don't actually do much for myself anymore with these videos. Hope to change that soon. I do have an upcoming couple of cables I'm making up for an interesting, what is it, a PC MSX. MSX is a computer and game format that came out of China, developed by Microsoft of all things. It was a standardized platform to build upon, so kind of a neat concept. It was for This is actually kind of cool looking computer. It was like an all-in-one keyboard thing, but this one's actually I believe it's an ISA card that goes into a. This is nice and thick here. It's an ISA card that goes into a. What are we looking for? It's an ISA card, and it's got this pseudo. CGA out. He wants to have a cable that goes from the CGA, it's not even CGA, it's something else. The CGA to SCART, which is a European standard. I forget what SCART stands for actually. But it goes to a SCART, so we can plug it into something relatively modern. And internally, there's a 50-pin header. That 50-pin header. Connect the negatives first. Here's a neat that just needs to have like a fan-out cable that'll go to the MSX cartridge, which is actually, believe it or not, the MSX did come to the States, but it was known as the ColecoVision. It's the same MSX standard. So that's actually kind of cool. I think we did have it here, but very limited. But if you look at the ColecoVision compared to a lot of the other consoles at the time, it is way more advanced than say the 2600. Atari 2600. I mean, I like the 2600. I grew up with it, but I know in hindsight, compared to what the rest of the world was using, it was not so high tech. I don't like how this is so close to each other. You know what? Maybe I'll unsolder some of this first. I really don't like this much solder. It's just flashing over. That's the problem. I need something to stand this up. Oh man, that is an old tape measure. Okay, it's my old Lufkin. This tape measure is like 30 years old. When I was a kid, when I was a young man of 16 years old, my first job was working at a local home improvement center called Handy Andy, which has been gone for many years now. They went out of business in '95, I think. But this was a tape measure I carried on me. And has actually performed exceedingly well, all things considered. Wow, this is crappily done. Okay. It just gets you every now and then, just like... It's great the Chinese industries can come up with very inexpensive way to do things, but my God, every now and then it's like, these are lithium cells. You don't want them shorted and all sorts of weird stuff to happen. Ooh, man, I don't like doing this. Okay, you went to sleep. Let's see here. What's all this then? Just running a spudging tool along here. See if I can get these apart. There we go. That's what I wanted. There we go. Got those apart. The reason I did that is I got this stupid tape on here and I can't get at the... This is all non-conductive. I mean, really, masking tape? You can't do better than masking tape. Golly. Yeah, there's a bunch of sense pins and stuff over there. I'll end up testing this one more time because I saw there was still a bridge in one of them. Yes, it is my It's amazing sometimes you have a tool you've had just literally for just decades. It needs a tape measure. What the heck's it going to do? I think this one's actually made in the U.S. I need to know. Yeah, made in USA. Still works. Yet to find a tape measure better than that one. Alright. Since we're here. Still good. He's good. Double check these. Six. Last thing I want to do is have a dead cell. What will happen is you'll get when it goes to charge, one cell will start to charge the other cell, and it forms like this weird, like, I wouldn't say feedback loop, but it forms like a really extended timing circuit where one feeds the other, one feeds the other, one feeds the other, and it's kind of crazy. And it can really damage your cells. You notice I'm calling them cells and not batteries, because these are individual cells. The batteries, multiple cells. The interesting thing is, like, a car battery is actually the correct term because there's actually 6 cells inside that form a car battery. They get you your 12 volts. Get these lined up nice. Now let's bus them over. Okay. Minus. Let's tin this wire first. Oh my goodness, I need to buy a new solder soon. You know, you're doing a lot of Sega products. Is this all you got left on your solder? That's 3 pounds of solder I went through. You buy solder by the pound. I'll get these tinned up a bit. Yeah, that was Rojas solder there before. You're getting tin lead, and you'll like it. I like tin lead solder. They have this new solder, which I didn't know about, which is gold tin. Sorry, gold. Is it gold tin? Really kind of neat. It has it avoids the problem with regular Rojas solder is what they replace the lead with allows formation of what's those tin whiskers or dendritic growth. So I don't want any dendrites. Let's see. That's pretty. A little more in the end one here, I think. A little more heat. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. I didn't think it was adhering well. Alrighty. Same thing for the other side. A little more strip. I got too much strip there. I'll have to cover that with a little cap ton in a second. wetting pretty well. That's good. Tin this first. Not a wedding. Let's get these on. Okay, those are alright. Let's get some more flux in there to get her to stick. If you ever use tin lead solder, it's supposed to be super shiny. If it's not, you didn't apply enough heat. Didn't get hot enough. Nice. Trim this in here. And a little Kapton for that guy. I don't want to rely on the strength of the solder. Don't use solder as a load-bearing material. It's meant to conduct electricity, not to be structurally sound. Got a spare cell. I'm thinking of going like that. Actually, you don't want to go on the bottom here. Get some little standoffs going on there. Probably would kick me off from there. There we go. Still fits in there nice. So I'll have this guy do it here. So in the meantime, cat on you together, buddy. Yeah, buddy. I'm purposely putting the charging circuit on the opposite end as of the battery leads. That was intentional to avoid any possible short if things start moving around. Length. That's 26. Not jamming that much current through it. Positive battery. It's going this way. I am tired. I can see my hands shaking. Yikes. Okay. Negative battery. Anything getting hot? No. Good. That's always the worst. I'm working on something. Starts getting real toasty. Very disturbing. I think I've only smoked one of these. voltage. Positive, 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 positive. That's not good. Okay, what we got here? 0.79. Who's being bad? Something's not right here. Something bad came out, Sabi. Let's pull off the positive lead. Okay, so it's drawing it down. Why is it drawing it down that much? Are these that discharged? I'm slightly confused. They're not heating up. They're not getting shorted, because if they were shorted, these wires would be melted already. So, is it that? That's the ground reference messed up. Well, here's what we'll do. Let's clear this out here. Let's reconnect this temporarily on the top. Let's do a top solder. It says positive battery. I don't see anything smoking here, so let's see what's going on. Oh, come on. Work with me here. Okay. Oh, there's the 3.7. Oh, that was weird. Okay, that was odd. Don't get that one. Anywho, let me see. Do I have a micro USB charging cable? I do, but I've got some. Hold on a moment. Okay, so off the stage right here was a cable already. Let's see if she charges up. The little red light. Oh, can you even see that? Oh, it doesn't really show up. Well, there's a little red LED that comes on to let you know that it's charging. So now, the only thing you need to do is set the output voltage. Where's non-conductive? Here it is. Tweaker. Negative out, positive out. Dink dink and dink dink. Set the 5.2, which is fine. Get in there, you little guy. Let's use this guy instead. Too wide. You little guy. There we go. Let's get in there. 5.2 volts. Let's go to. Going the wrong way. Let's get her up to 7.5. You need 6.9. Oh, it's because it's conductive. Oh, it drives me nuts. Okay. See if we can get the tweaker in there. One problem I've run into is with these conductive screwdrivers. Oh, let's see. Tri-wing doesn't help me. You are Phillips. Come on. Too small for Phillips. I'll tell you what, I'll just adjust it up higher and come back to it. Goes right away. 8. Oh, give me a break here. Strange quirk. There we go. 7.5. Sure the outer is ground. Let's see, the inner should be good. That's right. Almost 99% of stuff, the inner is the hot and the outer is ground for safety reasons. And I don't, well, I'll just temporarily solder this in place because I still need to cut holes in this case, but I want to do this real quick. So I'm going to tack it on. So I'm going to stop doing this soon because I'm getting a little slap happy. Negative out is white. Just do some top surface soldering because why not? It's not IP67, but who cares? There's like this entire manual of solder practices, which I've violated about 3 of them in the last 10 minutes. Okay. That side. 7.5 dead on. Excellent. Alright, so plug her in here. There's actually a little status light on the side right there. Let's see. Yep, it's charging. That's what a little amber light means. Good. So it's charging. So, what I'm going to do now is go ahead and figure out what holes I need to cut into this. This is going to sit in here. You know what? I might take an end mill to this, one of these posts. Yeah, if I just get rid of one of them, I just need to cut this post out, but that's enough for tonight. So electrically it works. Now I just have to mechanically go back in, cut that standoff off, and I'll cut some holes in this plastic here to have access to the charging port. Since I'm here, I'll just charge it overnight. So when I get to it, it's charging. I wonder why you can't see the little red light. Yeah, there you can see it. There's a little guy right there. But that's it for now. I'm gonna watch a bad movie and enjoy the rest of Memorial Day weekend. Thanks for watching.